Europe 2026. Crowds, delays, and lines. Sold out everything. Your dream trip? Kinda broken. Don't cancel, fix it. I'm giving you 5 smart swaps. We'll trade the chaos for places that feel authentic and cost less. We're taking the most overcrowded, overpriced tourist traps in Europe and swapping them for nearby alternatives that still feel like the Europe you've been dreaming about. Think Venice without the cruise ship crush, Paris-level food without Paris prices, Greek island sunsets without the stampede. Ready? We start now. Before you lock in those 2026 flights, let's fix your itinerary. Let's start with one of the biggest offenders, Venice. On paper, Venice is magical. In reality, in 2026, it is struggling. The city is testing entry fees on peak days. Locals are outnumbered by tourists 50 to 1, and at certain times it honestly feels more like a theme park than a real Italian city. If you're imagining quiet canals and romantic evening walks, that's not what you're getting in Venice anymore. So here's your first smart swap. Skip Venice and go to Treviso instead. Treviso is often called Little Venice. You still get the beautiful canals, the stone bridges, and that classic Italian charm, but without the cruise ship chaos. Picture this. Instead of dragging your suitcase over endless bridges fighting crowds, you're wandering along calm waterways, stopping at a cafe where you're surrounded by locals speaking Italian, not tour guides shouting into megaphones. Treviso is also the gateway to the Prosecco region, and it claims to be the birthplace of tiramisu. So if you care about food and wine, this is a massive upgrade. And here's the best part. Treviso isn't some far-flung alternative. It's only a 20-minute, €4 train ride from Venice. Pro tip, book your hotel in Treviso to save hundreds of dollars. Enjoy the quiet vibe. Then, if you must see St. Mark's Square, treat Venice like a day trip. Go in the morning, hit your bucket list spots, and escape back to Treviso for dinner when the Venice crowds are at their worst. You still do Venice. You just don't have to sleep in the chaos. Next up, let's talk about Santorini. Those blue domes and cliffside sunsets? They're all over Instagram, and that's exactly the problem. In 2026, Santorini is paying the price for being too famous. We are talking $500 a night for a basic room with a partial view, and streets so packed you're basically walking in a slow-moving line under the hot sun. So here's the smarter move. Skip Santorini and go to Naxos instead. Naxos is the largest island in the Cyclades. That size matters because it absorbs crowds easily. You still get the whitewashed villages, the crystal clear water, and that Greek island magic. But you have space to breathe. The food here is a huge win. Naxos is known for its agriculture, so you're eating meals made with ingredients grown right on the island, often at half the price of a touristy Santorini restaurant. Pro tip, fly into Athens, take a ferry to Naxos, and use that as your base. You can still take a day ferry to Santorini to see the caldera if you want. But trust me, after battling the crowds there for a few hours, you will be very happy to get back to the chill vibe of Naxos. Now let's talk about Paris. Paris will always be iconic, but visiting in 2026, it's tough on the wallet. Post-Olympics prices have stayed high, and the central neighborhoods feel permanently crowded. If you're visiting for the first time, you might spend your entire trip waiting in lines. If what you really want is amazing French food, walkable streets, and river views, skip Paris and go to Lyon. Lyon is the gastronomic capital of France. You get 2 rivers, scenic bridges, a stunning old town, and a very lived-in, local feel. Instead of eating at a cramped bistro near the Eiffel Tower surrounded by other tourists, you're sitting in a traditional bouchon, eating incredible local food next to actual French people. Pro tip, Lyon is connected to Paris by high-speed train. It's only a 2-hour ride. You can fly into Paris, spend 1 night to see the tower, and then zip down to Lyon for the rest of your trip. It feels more authentic, it's cleaner, and your money goes way further. Let's move to the Adriatic. Dubrovnik, Croatia. It is stunning. It's also completely overwhelmed. In 2026, massive cruise ships dump thousands of passengers into the tiny walled city every single day. You can barely walk, let alone take a photo without a selfie stick in your face. If you want that medieval stone-walled city on the water, try this. Skip Dubrovnik and go to Kotor, Montenegro. Kotor has a UNESCO-listed old town and dramatic mountains rising straight out of the bay. The views easily rival Dubrovnik's. Inside the walls, you'll find winding alleys, old churches, and yes, cats everywhere. It feels like Dubrovnik did 20 years ago. Pro tip: hike up to the castle of San Giovanni above the city. It's a workout, lots of steps, but the view over the bay is one of those "is this even real" moments. Go early to beat the heat and enjoy a Europe that hasn't been ruined by overtourism yet. Finally, Amsterdam. The city has been very open about this. They are actively trying to reduce mass tourism. There are new rules, hotel bans, and a general push to get crowds out of the center. If you want canals and cozy Dutch vibes without feeling like you're a nuisance, skip Amsterdam and go to Utrecht. Utrecht has something Amsterdam doesn't: split-level canals. You have the street level up top, and then down at the water level, you have cellars that have been turned into cafes and restaurants. It is one of the coolest setups in Europe. Because it's a university city, it feels lively and young, but not touristy. You get the bikes, the canals, and the culture, but in a package that feels relaxed. Pro tip: Utrecht is only a 30-minute train ride from Amsterdam's Schiphol airport. In many cases, it's actually faster to get to Utrecht than to downtown Amsterdam. Travel in 2026 isn't about having the biggest budget. It's about being smarter than the average tourist. You don't have to visit the same 5 cities everyone else is posting about. I want to know, which of these swaps would you actually make? Would you trade Paris for Lyon, or are the classics still worth the crowds? Let me know in the comments. And if you are planning a trip this year, there are some new rules you need to know about before you get to the airport. Click this video right here to make sure you don't get stuck at security. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.